here we are. Whoop. Sorry about that embalming table. I won't put my hands on it. I'm sorry. Anyway, here we are. We're back at the embalming table. Me and Morella today. We're going to answer the Goth Tag, apparently. Question number 1 says, how long have you been goth? I don't know. Probably like since I was like grade 9, I guess. Like grade 9, I guess I started really like dressing it and being that way. Before that though, I was always like the weird kid. I didn't wear like black and, black lipstick, but it was different. I was like the weird, strange, artistic kid that was different than everybody else. And I wore like crazy 80s sequin dresses to school when I was very little. And like my mom let me do those things because it doesn't hurt anybody. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just different than the other kids. And like, if you don't want to wear jeans and a t-shirt, why should you have to, right? So yeah, I guess it just developed into like this kind of different when I was about 12 or 13, I guess. Question number 2 says, how were you introduced to goth? I don't know. I guess like I just saw pictures of it in like magazines and like music magazines and like, I don't know. I don't actually know. I just, one day we started doing that. There weren't really like, there were a couple older goth kids in my high school, but like not many, because I went to a high school up north where there just isn't that many kids. So, but I thought they were very cool with their like leather trench coats and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of an answer. I don't know. That's as much as I got. What Gothic subgenre would you put yourself in? I have no freaking idea. I have no freaking idea. That's the thing. Even my business cards, I didn't know what to write on them. I wrote like one of a kind goth glam industrial couture because like, I don't know. Like sometimes I wear a lot of like drapey velvet with like bell sleeves, and sometimes I wear a lot of like buckles and hardware and chains, and sometimes I wear a lot of velvet with a lot of buckles and hardware and chains over top of it. Like, I guess you would say like trad goth, glam, industrial, rivet head, death rock. I don't know. That's as much as you're gonna get. I don't know. What do you believe to be the basis of the Gothic subculture? This is the question that's gonna get me in trouble. I don't know. Like, everybody has different ideas and opinions of what it means to them. To me, I guess it's a community, it's a lifestyle, it's not just clothes, it's not just music. It's like, if you see somebody else that is a goth on the street, you immediately know that you probably have some things in common, that like you're probably going to get along with them because they have common interests to you, which I think is very cool. That you can, I mean, everyone has different interests, but like within reason that you have some things in common with them. Like they're not a pink Barbie doll girl that you probably wouldn't have as much in common with, I would say, as another black-clad gothy person. And I find that very cool, that like people around the world can be together as a group even though they're so far apart. What do you dislike about being goth? I dislike people saying stupid shit to me on a daily basis. Like just dumb questions. Like, people will come up to me. I was grocery shopping. I was buying eggs. And this lady came up to me and was like, well, I thought you were very tall, but clearly you just had very tall shoes on. And I was like, what the hell? I'm just trying to buy eggs. Also, like, I'm 6 feet without my shoes on. So, like, what? I can wear it. But I don't know. Anyways, I dislike people saying dumb things to me about it. And I dislike having to deal with stuff, I guess, sometimes when I go out of the house. Like, some days is harder than others, right? I mean, every day when you leave the house, you know people are going to say stupid stuff to you, and there are days where I would rather just stay home and stay in my pajamas, because like I'm just not in the mood to deal with that. But you got to go out, you got to buy your groceries, you got to go to work. So I guess that's one of the things I dislike. But other than that, like, it's me. I like it. I wouldn't trade it anyways. It's worth it. What do your parents think of it? My parents are fine with it. My mother is the first person to defend me to everyone. I guess when I was younger and I first started doing it, like, she didn't know what it was about. She didn't get it. She was scared of it. She didn't understand it. So, they weren't okay with it then. But once they figured out that, like, it's not dangerous, it's just, music choices, lifestyle choices, clothing choices, then they were totally fine with it, and they got used to it, and now they're totally cool. Eyebrow or no eyebrows? Currently I have eyebrows. I also have piercings in my eyebrow, so I feel like if I shaved them off, I would have to draw them on in such a way that those piercings still were eyebrow piercings. I have thought about shaving them off, like, repeatedly. I just haven't got there yet, because I feel like when you shave your eyebrows off, it's one of those things that, like, they're gonna look like shit for a while until you learn to do it properly, and I would rather not walk around with eyebrows looking like shit at any point in time. So you have to find that time where you can learn and, like, not walk around looking like a wiener for a few weeks until you figure out what you're doing. What is your favorite band? What a horrible question. Every time somebody says favorite anything, I have a very hard time. I cannot name my favorite band. I can name you a bunch of bands that I like a lot. I like Nine Inch Nails a lot. I like Sisters of Mercy a lot. I like Rob Zombie a lot. I like She Wants Revenge a lot. But as for absolute favorite, I don't know. Your opinion on Marilyn Manson? I like him. In the 90s, it was a thing that, like, you weren't really supposed to say that you liked him. It was very uncool to say you liked Marilyn Manson, even though everybody liked him. I think he's a hell of a showman. I've seen him in concert a few times, and I always say to people, even if you don't like his music, even if you don't like him as a person, he puts on one hell of a show. Like, if you ever get the chance to see him in concert, you definitely should, because it's an epic spectacle, if nothing else. But I do have a bunch of his CDs. I listen to them. I like him. I like him just fine. What were your baby bat days like? Super awkward. I imagine, just like everybody else. Super, super awkward. It was like this, but I didn't really know what I was doing, so it was sort of like sequin tube top with, like, a long skirt with a split in it and, like, cow print tights, because I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah, the fashion thing took a little while to figure out, and the hair thing took a little while to figure out, because I have super curly hair, so, you know, I wanted, like, that big, like, Robert Smith hair, but when you brush it, it gets really huge and frizzy and bad looking until you figure out how to, like, artistically make your hair big and frizzy looking without just looking like you don't brush your hair. Yeah, so I guess that's it. That's the Goth Tag. Those are some weird ass questions that don't necessarily have any connection to each other, but whatever. There you go. So, sorry, Morella, I didn't let you talk a lot, but maybe next time. There you have it, the Goth Tag. Hope you liked it. You should subscribe to my channel, and I will make more videos when I have time.